At the mention of advocacy, one organization comes to mind, and that is the Busac Fund. The Business Sector Advocacy Challenge Fund aims at contributing to the creation of a more enabling business environment for the development and growth of the Ghanaian private sector.
I'm very pleased to be here with you today to speak about Busac, which is one of the success stories we have in our program of external assistance. Busac Fund is an important partner for Europe and also other development partners. Danida, US said we provide support to Busac Fund because we all agree that the future of this country, the future of economic development in Ghana is through the development of the private sector. So Busac Fund has a very important role in advocacy to promote business climate which is conducive for private sector development, which will be conducive to promote job creation through the private sector, which will be important to incite the young generations to come to the market to propose their skills.
You can have a very laudable business idea. You can be a good entrepreneur, but if the environment is not good, it's not conducive enough, your efforts may come to nothing.
The specific objective of the Busac Fund is to help private sector associations, including farmer-based associations, organizations, in strengthening their capacities to improve the business environment of their members, that is, the private sector in general.
So as much as we want to help the associations, we want to look at issues that they come up with. We look at the whole application process. We look at the needs of the various districts and what the applications are intended, or objectives that they are intended to serve.
With the help of Busac Fund, today, an association such as Suame Magazine Industrial Development Organization has seen the light of day.
The Busac Fund has been a very interesting project for us, but the concept of advocacy has such a wide impact in such that under phase one, we had very good results already out of the project. One of the major results that we had is an advocacy fund that was won by Smido. And Smido started with a very, very small grant where they, as artisans in Kumasi, thought that the land on which they were working, Suame Magazine, was too small. They thought they had opportunity to have a bigger place to operate, and they came for a grant.
Recognized as the largest artisan engineering center in sub-Saharan Africa, the Suame Magazine has been the center of major vehicle repairs and metal works.
Cars need to have you have a banana, Neazor near Baku, near the Bakuaka, now a double azor, and a visual can be banana, a trailer head, yet me no long one, now I a cargo.
Suame Magazine, an industrial cluster meant for 4,000 artisans as a temporal offer by government, was occupied by over 200,000 artisans. Whilst the congestion left no space for development, the SME cluster, ranked as the largest single employment enclave in Ghana, was and is under legal contention with imminent threat on massive eviction and collapse.
Well, I would say what actually triggered the whole idea to establish Smido dates back to 2004, when there was an offer from the then government to support the development of Suame Magazine. So I was engaged as a consultant to put together a proposal for the government to at least serve as a basis to develop Suame Magazine. So the Garages Association, which was the mother association, invited the Dynamic Spare Parts Dealers Association, quoted the partnership with other associations, and they formed what they call the Central Committee, so that at least they can build consensus to negotiate with government for development of Suame Magazine. We wanted government to support Suame Magazine. We wanted to draw the interest of government, the attention of government to the numerous development challenges confronting the industrial cluster, and then to let the entire society appreciate the potential that also abounds in Suame Magazine. And so when Busac advertised, that was March 2006, they themselves called and said, it looks as if there is an advertisement here and we can take opportunity of that, at least to continue with this engagement, so that whatever challenges that we have, this provides a window of opportunity for us to advocate extensively to engage government. And so we quickly put in a proposal, an application for Busac support. And thank God, it was also evaluated and subsequently approved. And so that was the starting point of this whole engagement with Busac.
Certain Dynamic Spare Part Dealers Association. And the one more call out all the way called Busac was a woman here more of the year. And the Busac and also a Mayati, a Momuti assessor. Woman a cookie to be a Nanipa Beba when you be a Yajumasa. This is Nipano and Nekono Dos. And now so my consultant. A modern disaster between Union and me to sanity. Nessa a Kukunina, a kabum, Nayakasi, and Sana, Busac at Mabonti, Busac now Boama Smido, and Etosis.
Instead of supporting individual enterprises which have very, very individualized needs, we choose to be more efficient and effective. And this is why we target private sector associations that represent a lot of members.
What actually stimulated that interest to come together and then advocate was when the research came out. And then there was a projection that Suame magazine is likely to collapse in 10 years' time.
Smido was born out of what was an advocacy program organized by the Dynamic Spare Parts Dealers Association and funded by Busac Fund. Smido currently comprises the Dynamic Spare Parts Dealers Association, Mechanical Association, Ghana Haulage Transport Owners Association, Kumasi Scraps Dealers Association, Condemned Car Dealers Association, Magazine Region, and Onyado Association. The rest include Fuel Injection Pump Mechanical Association, Electrical Welders and Fabricators Association of Ghana, Big Friends Mechanical Association, Suame Magazine Women's Association, Asafo Mechanical Association, and Sofoline Mechanical Association.
The major thrust of the Busac support was not just the research, but the translation of the research document into a policy blueprint, that is a development path for Suame magazine. Since 2007, when that document was launched and circulated throughout the country for the development of Suame magazine, we started getting at least requests from external partners.
And a man you bought the room. Into true the room, I boy and a copy person television show, and a radio show, and a graphic show.
The advocacy action was entitled Promote the Acquisition and Development of a Modern Industrial Site for Suame magazine. The grant will enable the association to train their members on how and why to advocate, thus empowering many of the members to play an active role in the whole advocacy process.
Busac who acquire Namswa, you bet me a Kukuana penny be and a bibisa casa. A be quiet, now will be a Kobia bibi and a penny bibi. That's a young penny near co demonstration. Dabby.
Busac for Amayin Diabebre, acquire fast with Timidea how a twabonting, so how be and you saw the quack.
Busac for my training, and maybe with a woo Juma, as I say, with your hoka, as I say, with your tax, as I say, who say. As I said, who is canal, so who can have a password, who be his canal.
Busac trainer my coin. All me to ICT, all Mako training, ICT through Busac Korea and a ma or 2 4 will be ICT my Smido for your coin.
Yes, that may make man on some papers. Namin keep records. And me training, no one say, the beer abeto so who be an assault at the end of the month, and at the end of the week. One who Sika Unia, Scar Cotoy, Fasonia, I bet him the no job one management expenses. What my Timisia if you are.
Yeah, dear Bisa dear baby, Sabe to Busac and Send a Daruma. There will no mere boy no baby, dear Abeni, and tea and mobile or Baboy be an unfastenable. Now to me, say on Baboa.
As the doctor say, a parliament Busac. Send your own man, I ain't me Send a Yakoya
7 years later, after the advocacy action, the organization can boast of several partnerships with renowned institutions all over the world. Prominent amongst them is the partnership with the Dutch NGO AARD Sharp Foundation. The Busac Fund issued a grant to enable Smido harness the potential of advocacy to bring together public and private sector stakeholders for the acquisition, promotion and development of 1,000-acre land for the decongestion and incorporation of modern technology with the industrial operation of Suame magazine.
The place is highly congested, and it will be very, very difficult to develop Suame magazine given the current state. You can only develop it when you acquire a new land because it was not planned, and they ensure that it is properly planned so that you relocate at the artisans to the new place, and then you make sure that at least all this could be infused into that so that it will not just really be just acquiring a land to ease congestion, but to transform the very industrial base of Suame magazine into a modern industrial estate so that they can fit into the whole scheme of the global automobile industry.
Association, yes, Smido. Na omo approaching me say omo passasi, e wo me krom. 500 to about almost 1,000 acres. Omo de me industrial village. No me so me plan so. If we say so share sa Smido adwuma na omo de ba me krom ho na nyame boa na bibia yi ya. E be ma me krom ho no abie adwuma be ba ho. Yeah, a benefit me community, no, any Ashanti region, and Ghana in general.
Yes, I'm for so pa Busac for me. Yes, Suame magazine, you know, Cassie, as I said, Dawinia. Magazine from Penufon, Kola, warm up on Pomina, between a bar. I mean, maybe I
send a Busac, boy, yet to me, and your land, no. As I say, your name, Danida for, and the Lenke. Through our advocacy, no, the need of Wabem, or not to be bois. I found it, land and home expenditure. I'm a to me, industrial estate, modern industrial estate, modern one. Burkina Faso, Nigeria, Senegal, Western, Africa, no.
The recent survey that was undertaken in Kumasi now shows that out of every five taxi drivers in Kumasi, 2 of them are dropout mechanics. And the simple reason is they are not able to cope with the new vehicular models in terms of repairing with the new auto diagnosis technology. So if the new industrial village is going to have this as a central scheme.
With the world becoming a global village as a result of the computer age, Suame decided not to be left behind.
The first car, indigenous vehicular model that we unveiled recently, we named it Smarty Turtle. It was done as a collaborative initiative with a Dutch-based institution. Apart from just vehicles being products of engineering ingenuity, they are also sorts of national pride, symbols of national pride. And so we realized that the collaboration will be quite strategic if we can use our expertise, come out with a model vehicle. We learned inputs from their end, we partner them. At the end of the day, the products that will emerge will mirror both Dutch and then the Ghanaian culture.
We want to alleviate poverty. We want to focus on how can we get our support to become inclusive, which was also what informed the second phase, to be more focused on delivering that support also to the Northern Business Association or private sector organizations, as we also call them.
We know that with 3 million euro support from the EU to the Busac funds, we have value for money. The Busac fund is always adapting to the reality of the market, and even I am pleased to note that they are even in a position to anticipate the market, and that's really the job of a policy advocacy institution, and to anticipate what would be the development of the market, so that the private sector can adapt, can adjust, and also can propose what should be the follow-up in the future of the market and the policy environment.
The judicious use of business advocacy by Busac Fund with support from their development partnership namely Danida, USAID, and the EU, has proven beyond doubt to be an efficient and effective tool. Once again, Busac Fund has saved the day using a well-planned advocacy to create a better enabling business environment for the Ghanaian private sector.